Wow, another interesting endgame for today's video. Why to move and win? If you think this is easy, well, no, you are wrong. Because this endgame needs accuracy. In order for you to win this endgame, you have first understand the idea of the sequence of moves and where the white king should go. If you miss the idea, if you miss the sequence of move, that is very unfortunate for white because black would surely draw this endgame. So if you are ready, let's go and study this one. Let's do first the common answers we received for this endgame. They said that is easy to win. You only have to do is to attack the H6 pawn and then congratulations, hooray. Well, it doesn't work that way because if your idea is to just attack this one, you have to consider the black king is also planning to attack the G pawn. So let's say king to C7. Okay, that's a good one. Now king A6 for black. If you will go king to D6 targeting the H6 pawn, that is bad move because draw king B5 and you have to check this one, the letter L pattern from the white king towards the black king. Letter L pattern, and that is the technique that black king will do to follow the white king and draw the game. So let's continue. King to D5. Let's say king to E5, I mean. King to C4, letter L, because the idea of this black king is to attack the pawn at the back. King to F5, and now king to D3. This time you don't need because your idea now is to get closer to the G pawn. If let's say G4, you have to make sure the white king and the pawn is just right beside each other. King to E3, letter L again. If you're gonna go here, of course, king to F5. If you will capture, king will capture also. If king H5, just go to king G3 and draw. So there is no way now for white to win this game. Let's go back. So G4, this is draw, bad move because king B6 is now having some timing and which is good for black. King to C5, even though it's letter L, but the black king has the momentum to attack the G pawn. King to E6, same idea that we had earlier. The black king will attack the pawn at the back and following the white king, letter L. So what white would do in this position? Draw. Okay, I will show you now the answer. King to C7. King A6. King to C6. King A5. King to C5. King A4. King C4. King A3. King C3. King A2. And King C2. Now, black can go H5, A3, or A1. But let's go by moving first king to A1. I mentioned earlier, one missequence will lead to a draw game and you don't want that as a white player. So let's go and check king A1. This is a win for white. You all have to do is to go G4, preventing the H5 move. So king A2, king to D3, even the black king will follow the white king, letter L or opposition. This is a win for white now. King to B3, king to E4, king C4, and here, let's go king to D4. As you can see, the black king is loose tempo. So what black would do, go here, and obviously that's a win for white. So how about the king to a3? This is very critical for white because if white king would go king c3, what will you do? Perpetual move and draw? Of course, you have to win. If you think you gotta go king d3 immediately, that move is a wrong sequence and draw. We're talking about sequence of move here. So king b2, letter L again, king to let's say e4, king c2. This time it's not letter L but targeting the g4. So let's move g4, king to d2, king to f5, king to e3. Once again, the same scenario we had earlier because of the wrong sequence of moves. So let's go back. I will not move the king. I will move my pawn. The question here is g4 or g3. Let's say g4. Is still a bad move. Why? It's draw. King b4, king to d3, king c5, king e4, king to d6. Why this position is draw? King f5, and then h5. So white should what? Capture or move? If you will just move, of course, king to e7. Um, where will you go? If you move here, this is a lose now for white because you have to make sure this king has to move somewhere to promote this one. So you will what? Go here. Black will get a check first. Sorry, lost. So let's go back. So attacking the pawn to g6 to h5 though, that's a bad move. So let's say g6 and then h4, king to let's say move here, attacking the pawn, and then king f6. A draw, right? This time, oh, let's go back and capture that one. King e7. This is a draw one. Believe it or not. Let's say king g6. Oh, king to f8. And now, how can you make sure this king will protect the h8 square? There's no way. If you're gonna go here, the black king will just play along f8 and f7. If you will push the pawn, the black king will play on g8 and h8 square. So this is a draw. Rook pawn is draw. Not king d3, bad move. Not g4, bad move. The good continuation is g3. Imagine the sequence. If you miss that one, you're gonna miss also the chance to win the game. So king, let's say king to b4, king d3. How about king to c5? This is the idea we had earlier, right? King e4, king to e6, king f5. What's the difference of g6 and g4? You will see here. Just imagine the g4 pawn. There's an h5. And in this position, black cannot do the h5 move because the pawn is on g3. H5, just imagine the pawn is on g4. So white is forced to capture or to move. In this position, it's very clear win for white because let's say king to e7, king to g6. Okay, black will just go on g8 to prevent the promotion pawn, and then g4 opposition. Then you can just move here, opposition, g5. Black is forced to move somewhere. King f7, and this is a clear win for white. So let's go back. How about h5? This is a win. Clearly win because the h5 move is not hitting the g pawn. So king b3. This is easy. King to c3, letter L. So king f4. Let's follow here. Or let's move king to d3. And after move here, capture. The black king has lost one timing or one tempo.